you going, people? It's Texas morning here. What is today? It's Thursday. I don't know what the date is. But let's talk about how gun control works. Because I got up this morning and I heard about good gun control California keeping victims since the enactment of gun control has successfully unarmed an entire community. And guess what? Ready? Shocker. The government only took the guns away from good people. Bad people still had them. Oh my God, Rick, say it. Is it true? You can't say that. Truth is outlawed in this day and age. So, good guys didn't have guns. Guy went in a bar in California, shot up a bunch of people. A few things that I thought was interesting when I'm listening to some of the reports is they're describing him as a full bearded, dark-skinned, tall man. Oh, CNN reported he identified as a white male, so that's the only thing they're covering. But I digress. So here's a shooter that killed 11 people, went in a bar, shot up a bunch of people, and nobody's talking about gun control. Nobody's talking about how if they had a gun they could have stopped him. Nobody's talking about until the cops got there with guns, the guy killed himself. Now, they're not saying he killed himself. I'm kind of jumping to that conclusion because the cops are saying they didn't shoot him. Well, they're not saying they didn't shoot him. They're saying when we responded, the incident was terminated or the incident was resolved. So a cop got shot. A sheriff showed up with a CHP. Of course, the CHP was behind the sheriff. That's why he didn't get shot. Sheriff went in first, got shot, took a bunch of rounds. Dude was 50 years old. In California, you can retire at 50. You can retire earlier at 50, you get a less retirement. But you don't start collecting your money till you're 50. He had 29 years on the job. Was going to retire in less than a year. Went to work, dead. Left a wife and kid. I'm telling you, man, from cop to cop, for you cops out there, it just ain't. I mean, look, I was running and gunning as a cop and kicking doors and doing crazy and chasing bad guys and filling my oats. And I mean, it was a thrill. It was a rush. It became a freaking drug. I woke up for it. But, dude, looking back, you know, every cop, I don't know how many damn cop funerals I've been to. Probably at least 10, if not, I'm going to say 10. Around 10. It's the same story at every cop funeral. Lots of cops, lots of people getting paid, lots of uniforms, lots of people crying, lots of people saying what a great guy he was, how he gave his life in defense of the country, what a great man, he died, a hero. Ask me how many cops I remember. Names. I think 2. Okay? I knew them more personally than the other guys. I knew a lot of the guys, had ran into them, but you know, this cop is dead now, his wife, I mean, you work your whole life dealing with BS and you want to enjoy your life, and these cops just can't give it up. It's just hard to walk away, and they want to go back and work part-time, and they want to volunteer, and they want, man, I'm telling you, it's just not freaking worth it. But, hey, you know what? He's dead. The gunman's dead. 12 victims are dead. Nobody's talking about how gun control took the guns from all these people who died, and the bad guys still get guns everywhere across the world. It's universal. Gun control never works on bad people committing crimes. It only works to disarm good people. I mean, I don't know what to say. So, speaking of guns, hey. So, I put a 4-in grip on the pistol. And after reading the letter and doing some research, a couple guys said that I could have it. Buddy sent me a letter. I posted it on my website. If it's over 26 inches, you can have a 4-in grip. Straight, vertical. If it's shorter than that, then you need the angle grip, which I have, I think, on the 300 Blackout. So, because it is shorter. It's a 7.5 inch barrel. This is a 10.5 inch barrel. So a 10.5 inch barrel with this brace makes your gun about 27.5 inches long when the brace is fully extended and measured from the back of the brace to the front of the barrel. Now that's minus this flash suppressor. This flash suppressor is probably an inch or two. I know you guys have been telling your women that it's 6 inches, but it's really only an inch or two. So if you take this off, you measure from the tip of the barrel to the tip of the back of the stock fully extended, and if it's over 26 inches, you can have a vertical grip. If it's under 26, you need an angle grip. Can't have vertical, it's got to be angled. So I wanted to discuss this little drop-in trigger too while we're here. So I dropped in this little trigger, and I'll try to slide in a little thing on what it is. Pretty smooth little freaking trigger. It's 3.5 pounds. What I really like about it is the reset. And the reset is when I fire this round, I'm gonna cock this back. If I pull the trigger right now, it lets it go forward, and I didn't let the trigger go forward. Most people pop their triggers. They do this. Very bad for accuracy. When you pull a trigger, it should be steady pressure to rear, bang, and slow pressure forward. Click, reset, bang. So I want you to look at this reset on this gun. Pretty stinking little. That's what I like about, I like short resets. That's why I like the 1911. Watch how little this gun resets. Not much, so I'm ready to pull my second trigger right now. I think this is a RD140. They had them for I think 119, 110 at the gun store. The guy kind of threw it in with the upper, and I think it was end up being 85, 95 bucks. I mean, trigger's pretty important. So, oh, I forgot about my yellow hat. Remind me to mention that before I get off. So, the trigger, the other thing, the problem with these drop-in triggers that you need to know before you drop in a trigger is you'll notice my pins have little Allen heads on them because they're screw-in. Now, I got these at a gun store in Denton for 10 bucks, and they're pretty damn good. They went in easy. You need an Allen on both sides, and they screw together so they can't come out. When you have a drop-in trigger, because normally your spring on your AR holds your trigger pins in, and there's a little divot in here, but when you have a drop-in trigger, they have that smooth sleeve on the inside. So once that smooth sleeve is in there, the pin just goes in and out and falls out. So you need to add that in when you're buying it. You got to have locking pins. Now, I was going to order, I think, some CNC, and I read a lot of things that people were like, the heads snap off, they're cheap, they're not good. I didn't get them. I ordered a $27 damn set from Brownells, and that's with my law enforcement discount. And it's got the little bars that go between the two, and supposedly those are stronger and better. They haven't come in yet. I found these for 10 bucks, and I was like, shit, I wish I might send back the 27 buck ones, because shit, that's a lot of money for stinking pins that I already have. So add that in when you're doing this. About, why am I getting a red line here? Is my battery going dead? No? I don't know why I'm getting a red line going. Oh, and a hat. Found this at a pawn store. I think everybody should, well, I don't think everybody can do what the hell they want. I'm just saying, as a prepared mind, I like to keep one of these in my truck for several reasons. When things happen, and I don't know what things, you can make up in your own mind when things happen, but government or government workers or people that look like they belong in an area are allowed to move more freely and to get in and out of certain areas if you look like you have a purpose or a job for being there. So the general public a lot of times will be locked down or will be keyed onto and contacted, whereas if somebody is a worker working from the state, thinking if you have a little vest you can get it for $5, which I also have in the car, if I throw on a protective vest and this helmet, I suddenly look like I'm part of the solution. I'm here to help. I'm from the government. And that just might come in handy sometime. Now, I can't go into too much detail because the YouTube censorship is out there and everybody's out there crying and whining about this and that. So you can just take it for what, if you can figure it out, if you're smart enough to rub two brain cells together and figure out what I'm talking about, good for you. If you're not, you know what? I can't help you. Go study YouTube more. They'll give you all the censorship and stuff that you should believe and should not believe. There's a little rooster back there talking smack. Hey, why are you talking on the radio, boy? Shut up, dude. Boy's out there eating. Gave them a little hay this morning. They already had their little oats. So they had their snack and now they're eating their hay. And that's a Texas morning where there wasn't a shooting today because people are afraid to pull out guns in Texas because they know good people have guns. And that's the difference between liberal left states who think when we take guns from good people and make you dependent on the government and make you victims. And crime always goes up in liberal places with good gun control because liberals like crime. It means they can justify more government and more taxes. All right, we'll end that there.